What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Empty the Benches. Nick and Mac back with you once again. Mac, it is good to have you back and thawed out from your freezing cold weekend. So let's dive right into that. How was that, and how are you doing, my friend?
It was a blast. That was even more fun than I thought it was going to be. They did a great job. I wasn't really sure what to expect. Had never been to like the Hockey Day Minnesota festivities before. And so I wasn't sure like how high budget it was going to be. You also just never know with like the AHL. Like I really wasn't sure how like official it was going to be, but it was awesome. They had like tents that were like heated. They had bands playing in the tents. They had places you could go warm up and still watch the game on like jumbotrons. They had a bunch of great food trucks. Yeah, I mean, you name it. Really good local beer, and we also got treated to a delight of a hockey game. Admirals stormed back from down 2-0 and won in overtime, so that was a real treat to get to see that. You also, what I really liked about it was just general admission, and it was just like being at like a youth hockey game almost. Like you could just go walk behind the glass if you wanted. Like there was no seats.
Oh, I love that.
So you could just walk, like for one whole period, we just stood right behind the net, like on the glass, because there's no seats down there. It was just like, yeah, you can just walk over if you want to. So that was pretty cool. And last but not least, shout out to the town of Hastings, Minnesota, and also the town of Prescott, Wisconsin, just over the Mississippi there where we were actually staying. Both towns, just elite, like small Midwestern towns, some really great little dive bars. We had an awesome breakfast at this like diner in Prescott one morning. And maybe the highlight of the whole trip, there was a brewery in Hastings that we went to before the game. And you can buy for $5 a bucket of rocks from the bartender and then proceed to what they call the rock range. And it's exactly what you're probably picturing. They've just got a bunch of like bottles and cans and like metal signs and sheets like lined up, and you just start whipping rocks at shit and breaking stuff and hitting targets. I mean, it's the most like Neanderthal activity, but there was just a bunch of us dudes back there like, holy shit, you guys want to throw some more rocks? Like,
dude, it looked incredible. Like that has to be
so
one
fun.
of the most Midwest things I've ever seen. Like, that went in when they were like, oh, axe throwing is kind of popular, but there's no way we're going to pay for all of that. But like,
and axe throwing is like expensive.
And like has like all these rocks, like, you know, we could just throw those.
We didn't even know. We sat at that brewery for like a whole hour just sipping some local beers at the bar, and one of our buddies went to take a leak, and he comes back and he goes, guys, something's going on over there. And we're like, what are you talking about? And he's like, hold on. He asks the bartender, he's like, what's going on over there with like rocks or something? She goes, oh yeah, you want to buy a bucket of rocks? And we're like,
duh.
For what? And actually, for how much? And she was like, $5. And we're like, dude, you could have said 20 and I would have said yes.
Right.
But yeah, unreal. A lot of fun. We were almost late to the game. We were having so much fun. We kept being like, another bucket, another round, another round.
Funny. A bucket of rocks is almost better than a bucket of beers. Not quite, but
close.
Almost.
It's close. Yep.
What was the preferred target to throw said rocks
So
at?
there was
It looks like there were some cool ones.
There was one little like metal, it was really tiny, just like a little metal like bell. And it made like a ping, like hitting the post sound, and it was so satisfying. It was kind of hard to hit too. It was like up in the top corner. Nice. And there were 3 lanes. So I was with 2 buddies doing this. So we would all get in a lane with a handful of rocks, and we'd pick a target. We'd be like, all right, the bell, 3, 2, 1, go. And we'd all just start whipping it until somebody hit it. And then you're like, no, that was my rock. No, my rock hit it.
I love it. It's just so like Midwest redneck, like sit there, throw rocks at trains, like that kind of vibe.
Yep.
It's so cool.
It's awesome. All in good fun.
Yeah, well, it looks like you had a blast there. Glad you stayed warm. I caught most of that game on Flow Sports. Shout out to our buddy Babs, who covered the whole thing, had some snazzy plaid pants on. Looks like he was trying to stay warm. So it actually set the record. That is now the coldest professional outdoor hockey game that has been played since we've started tracking these. So that's pretty impressive that you survived that.
Yeah, no, it was a delight all around. No complaints here.
Nice.
Not even about the cold. I stayed nice and warm.
There you go. Well said. And then right after that, you got to hit up the Elwoods event the other night at what looked like a absolute barn burner of an Admirals game. How was that?
That was a ton of fun. Still kind of confused why I didn't win the 50-50. I don't really know if there was like a mistake or it's really confusing to me. So I don't really get that. But other than that, had a great time. There was an ass load of penalty minutes in that game. Might have been like the longest second period I've ever seen. Like me and friend of the program, my buddy Anders, we're sitting there and like, don't get me wrong, we're enjoying the game, but we were also like part of the like package is you get like a free drink at Elwoods afterwards. And we were kind of excited. Like the Caps were playing the late game. We were kind of excited to like go back to Elwoods and watch some NHL hockey and get our free drinks.
It's always a good time at Elwoods.
And we were like, okay, like this is a really good game, but like, can this hurry up? Like the second period, we were like paying attention to it and we tracked that like, I think 4 minutes of game clock ticked off in a span of like 32 actual minutes or something.
Dude, that's
like
some
that.
college basketball stuff.
It was like outrageous because every other whistle, they'd just be like in the corner pushing and shoving and hooting and hollering, and then the refs would have to huddle up and figure it out, and it would all boil down to like 2 roughing minors and like a slash, and it was like, dude,
right,
figure it out. Like you're all doing this and you're not even fighting. And they cleaned it up in the third. Both teams came out, and you could tell both coaches must have been like, "Hey, fellas, this isn't a 6-2 hockey game. It's 2-2.
Right?
Go out there and fucking score a goal and stop hitting each other in the shins and hacking each other. Like it's just getting ridiculous with all."
When did the refs just start throwing 10s at guys?
Pretty quickly. I think in the second period they started doing that, but the third period, I don't know if I've ever seen a guy score what's eventually the game-winning goal with less than 2 minutes on the clock. Zach Larue, or about 2 minutes on the clock, scores the go-ahead goal, and all in one play also gets ejected from the game with a 10-minute misconduct.
Scores goal and just goes right after someone.
He just went right, that, and then just went right down the tunnel after. He just knew, and everybody was like just giving him a big standing O, like, fuck yeah, dude, that's probably all we're gonna need. Thanks for your service.
It's like, I did my job. You boys got the rest. Let's
He's
talk
like, I'm
about
like,
it in the
I'm
shower.
gonna hop in the shower. I'll see you guys in a bit. Yeah.
Oh, that's incredible, man. Well, glad that was a good time. It was good to see everyone came out to that. It was good to see Nathan was at the U.S. Pond Hockey Championships over the weekend.
He was, yes. Our boy, owner of Elwoods, Nate, I talked to him for a long while about that. He said, I asked him if he won. He said they lost by, or the team that won beat him by a goal or something like that. And he's like, I'm still kind of bitter about it. I've been thinking about it all day. But it sounds like they had a great time.
That looks like a crazy setup. I mean, they have like 10 different rinks and like a bunch of games going on at once out there. That has to be a bucket list item for me.
Yeah, it's super cool. I can't imagine. I was not too far away from there while it was going on. I should have taken a little detour and gone over to watch at least, but maybe next year.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, glad you're back from your trips. Mine start tomorrow, today, if you're listening to this. So tonight for you guys, I am headed to Pittsburgh, going behind enemy lines. So I will be there for the Working in Hockey event with the Hawks and the Penguins. So that'll be a great matchup. Always nice when you get to see Bedard play. And, you know, as much as I am a Caps fan and I do hate the Penguins with every fiber in my body, and I will deny saying this ever again, it is going to be very cool to see 87 play in that building before he hangs him up, just to be able, like, just to be able to say that you saw it. Like, I mean, it's cool to be able to say Tom Brady live, and I hate that guy too. So
yeah, no, I hear you.
Yeah, it's definitely a respect thing for sure. But following that, Friday morning, we're going to be up bright and early and road tripping out to Penn State, where at 1 p.m. we'll be outdoors for the women's hockey game. We have the Penn State women and the Robert Morris women. That should be an awesome matchup. Both of those teams are looking really, really good right now. And then Saturday is the big one, Sparty versus Penn State at the famous Beaver Stadium. So very excited for that, but kind of headed into the similar weather pattern that you were. So definitely layering up, and it doesn't look like it's going to get above like 18 for us the entire time we're there. So
18. That's hot. Bring your swimsuit and your sunscreen.
You're asking where the dash in front of the 18 is.
Exactly.
So, fingers crossed, but that's going to be a ton of fun. Looking forward to ripping it up with Bowens and the boys there. So it should be a good time.
100%. That's gonna be a fun one. Make sure to get some vids and pics when you can.
Absolutely will do. Let's take a quick break. We're going to talk DraftKings, and then we'll be right back to talk about what's going wrong with the Washington Capitals.
The jaw-dropping moments that make hockey, hockey. Experience them all with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. Missouri listeners, listen up. DraftKings Sportsbook is now live in the Show Me state. New customers, this one's for you. Bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THPN. That's code THPN to turn $5 into $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org in Connecticut. Must be 18 plus. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Pick 6 not available everywhere, including New York and Ontario. Void where prohibited. One per new customer. Bonus awarded as non-withdrawable Pick 6 bonus picks that expire in 14 days. Limited time offer. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos.
Let's do this Caps debrief. So what is going on in your mind right now? Just going to rattle off some quick stats to springboard you here. 3-6-1 in their last 10, 4 wins out of 14 in the 2026 calendar year. Right now, the power play is 26th best in the league. They only have 27 PPGs on the year. And right now, they have no Sandin and no Matty Roy.
It's a mess, dude. It is a big mess. And at this point, I honestly just want the Olympic break to hurry up and come already so that this team can hopefully push the reset button. But we're going to need to get a couple of these wins before that break, or I'm not sure we're going to be able to climb out of the hole that we're digging for ourselves here. So Carbs said it the other night. He was like, basically what I just said. He was like, at a certain point, if we don't start getting results, we are not going to be able to get out of this hole. And so I know Tom Wilson had some comments after that embarrassing Kraken game last night where he basically said, it's not good enough and we know it, and we're going to have to really put our foot down here. But until I see it, I mean, look, they got the Wings next and they got the Hurricanes. Islanders are playing well. We got them after that. It doesn't get really easy at all. A couple of Flyers games and a Predators game in there before the break to close out, but still, I mean, none of it's going to be easy the way they're playing right now.
No, absolutely. And I think what's interesting is the Olympic break it's not exactly halfway. By the time we get there, it's more like a 2/3, 1/3. So they really only have a third of the season left coming out of that break. Yeah. And I don't know with how this is trending right now, if that's necessarily enough time. I think they need to pick it up before the Olympic break. So, I know we would love to just get there and be like, okay, let's everyone reset. Let's, look at some game footage. Let's let everyone get back to 100% or as close as they can. That way they can play consecutive hockey games. But
the other problem is the wild card is pretty much not attainable already.
Right.
The wild card is pretty much, you can already say it's not going to happen. That's how far ahead all those Atlantic teams are.
Yeah.
So unless you can finish in the top 3 in your division, you're not making the playoffs. It's that simple right now for the Caps. And no one's catching the Hurricanes, I don't think. They're at 69 points at the top. And then you've got
probably not.
Pens at 63 points, Islanders at 61. Caps and the Flyers both have 57. So I mean, we are right there. We're a couple, we're a 5-game win streak away from being right back in it. Assuming those teams above us lose a couple too. But it never feels good to not be in control of your own destiny and to need help from those teams. And like you said, I mean, we're coming up on pretty soon here. We'll have played 60 games already, and you're looking at basically 20 plus left. That's not a lot to be able to gain ground and get help. And just too much has to go right. And there's really no margin for error.
Yeah, it's too much has to go right. And you're probably asking for help from some of those other teams, like you mentioned in the Atlantic, or the other ones that are fighting for those spots in the Metro. So yeah. I absolutely agree. I think it's one of those 3 spots in the Metro or it's nothing. Yeah. Number 1, Carolina is probably locked up. I just don't see them dropping that. I mean, maybe if Pittsburgh can continue what they're doing, they catch them. I don't necessarily see that as a long-term thing. He said, hopefully. But let's talk about what's going on in these recent games specifically. So since we last spoke, they had an away game at Vancouver, Calgary, Edmonton, and Seattle. So let's start with the Vancouver game. That one was rough. Tough. I know you and I were talking during that one. They get out to a 2-0 lead. They do a great job on that 5-on-3. And, I was sort of, maybe just ran with it a little bit. I was like, oh crap, here we go. Like they figured the power play out. They got 2 goals on a 5-on-3. That's fantastic. We're going to roll the Canucks. And, we all know that the Canucks are struggling right now. And then before you could blink, they let Besser and Evander Kane tie that up before the end of the first period. They end up losing 4-3. Just
in regulation, mind you.
Yeah, not a great performance all around. And I know the boys know that. So that one was just really, really frustrating to me.
Inexcusable to have a 2-0 lead against that Canucks team and not get a fucking point in the standings. I mean, that is unbelievable. You can't let that happen.
I think it's just the way that those goals were scored too. Like both the first period goals that were scored by Besser and Kane were direct results of turnovers in the Caps' own zone. And you just can't have that right now. I mean, that stuff is first, second, third week of the season, and then you iron it out once it happens to you once kind of thing. So yeah, I don't really know.
Do I smell baked goods? Oh, it's turnovers.
Yeah, no, seriously, it is. Let's go to the Calgary game. So that one, again, totally bought in. I was like, way to dig in against a scrappy Calgary team. Both of those teams are fighting for points right now. So that was a tooth and nail game for sure. They get the 3-1 win there. I was like, great, we're going to salvage something out of this road trip, and was looking for them to carry that momentum into Edmonton. And we got one of the most cracked out hockey games of the year.
That was ridiculous. That was such an Oilers game. Like that's just how you lose to the Edmonton Oilers 101, like textbook. And I mean, as soon as it goes to OT, you lose. Like you're not going to win against fucking McDavid in OT.
When it goes to overtime and then you leave the fastest and best player in the world alone at your own blue line and basically give him a stretch pass. Yeah, exactly. I wonder what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's frustrating. Typical Oilers Caps game makes Evan Bouchard look incredible. I think he had 2 goals in that game?
Dude, yeah, we're giving up No, I think he had a Hattie, didn't he?
Did he?
We're giving up Hatties left and right. The fake Hattie last night against that was we'll get there. I'm going to get ahead of myself.
The Edmonton one, the last thing I'll say before we move into in what my opinion is the stupidest one of them all.
Oh, by far.
Just the penalty box parade in that one. I know the Oilers were doing it too. And so it was just power plays galore, which you would expect in a 6-5 hockey game. But like, dude, stop shooting yourself in the foot. Just stay out of the box. It is just, it's discipline. And they need to be better about that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
Okay. 5-1 loss to Squidward in Seattle.
Dude, this one, like most annoying loss of the season,
100%
by far.
Like Jared McCann hat trick? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, and then
no disrespect, but are you kidding me?
What even fuck? So I'm watching at Elwood, so I don't have sound on. What can you explain to me? What the fuck even happened? Like he scores, and then it got called back for like a high stick or something like that.
There was a double minor high stick that like occurred like right before he scored.
But I didn't think you could retroact it. Like, did we challenge that or how does? Okay, I didn't know that we could do that.
It's sort of like how I think you can challenge for DPI in the NFL now on the play if it's not called.
Okay.
I think it's like one of the 2 or 3 things you can use to pull back a goal, like offsides, goalie interference, or that. I might be missing some.
I didn't know that one existed.
That was a great call, and it kind of kept them in that game. So shout out to the video coaching staff for getting that one. That's fantastic. But I mean, to lose 5-1 to the Seattle Kraken is frustrating. And I'm not saying that to shit all over the Seattle Kraken, but that's not exactly a team you want to be losing 5-1 to. They're not in the strongest division. No. We talked about how they were overachieving a little bit this season at the beginning, kind of fell off. Now they're kind of stabilized again, but
I'd love to know our all-time record against that team. I feel like we play like dog shit every fucking time we play them.
Yeah, there's a couple teams like that, isn't there? But
yep.
Huge matchup tonight, the night you guys are listening to this. Caps, and that is the Caps are in Detroit, 7:30. That's a nationally covered game. Just a fun fact about Detroit, they have the 5th best power play this year. They have 41 power play goals. So that's already a problem right there, in my opinion. But I mean, I know it's way too early to be calling some of these must-win hockey games. To me, this is as close as you can get at the end of January to a must-win hockey game.
I would agree with you. And what's funny is, like, if I didn't know who the opponent was, if I was just blind about the rest of this year's schedule, had no idea who we're playing, based on how last game went and based on how this road trip has gone so far, I'd tell you put $500 on the Caps to win. We're putting our foot down. We are stopping this. The players are pissed. They are going to win this hockey game. And then you look at the schedule and it's Detroit, and I just don't see how we're going to win that hockey game right now.
Yeah, and it's tough. I mean, like you mentioned earlier, you look ahead in the schedule a little bit. It's Detroit tonight, then you have Carolina Saturday. The Islanders are playing really well. You've got them on Monday, and then you're in Philly on that Tuesday. So none of those games are necessarily layups. So,
No.
The Carolina and Detroit ones are going to be a really, really tough test for this Capitals team. And I know they're dealing with injuries now. The Sandin and Roy thing is pretty big, in my opinion. Those guys lug a ton of minutes and eat a ton of pucks. So definitely, spark plug guys you need in that roster. Where are we at with PLD? We're getting close, right?
Yeah, he ditched the non-contact tarp, so he's at least full participant in practice, from what I understand. Although it seems to me like that they're just not going to bring him back until after the break. I think just there's no reason to. Kind of
the right move.
There is a reason to, I guess. We need him, but there's no sense he had core surgery or something like that, so that's pretty intense, and you don't want to rush a guy like that back.
No, absolutely not. Real quick before we move on, score prediction for Caps at Wings tonight.
4-2 Wings.
Okay. I'm going to go 4-2 Caps. Fingers crossed we get something going here.
Man. I just got no confidence in my boys right now, which is unlike me. I'm usually like the I will never pick us to not win. And,
right.
Right now, I just can't do it.
Yeah, it does not look pretty right now. Let's move on to some other stuff going on in the NHL. The New York Islanders made 2 trades this week, which is way too exciting for this franchise. I don't know what they
never
think.
Do that.
What do you think you're doing? First one, they trade with their cross-state rivals, the New York Rangers. So first trade between these two teams in 16 years. It's Carson Soucy going to the Islanders, and that is in exchange for a 2026 third-round pick. He's 31 years old and is in the final season of his contract. What do you think of that move?
I don't hate it. It's not anything like that flashy, but I said last episode I thought Soucy would be one of the many Rangers probably be on the move, and I didn't expect him to stay in the state, go over to Long Island, but there he goes. I don't hate it for them.
Yeah, no, I think it's a great move. I think in the postseason, that's going to be a big move. He blocks a ton of shots.
Yes, sneaky important player.
Yeah, that's just so typical of that Islanders playoff hockey style of just suffocate and, beat you into submission.
100%.
They also pick up Andre Palat. He comes over from the Devils for Maxim Siplikov. They also get a 2026 third and a 2027 sixth in that draft. Palat is 34, has 1 year left on a 5-year, $30 million deal. What do we think about this and where Palat's at right now?
To me, this one's kind of a big deal. I don't know why more people aren't talking about this. I mean, it wasn't Siplikov one of their highest prospects? I thought he had some pretty high praise, no?
Yeah, this is what I would call a going for it move. They're looking at the standings. They're like, okay, we're in this. Let's go ahead and just get one of those classic experienced depth centers that can help us. You could play 2C, 3C, anywhere up and down the ice. So it's a playoff move, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think they're looking at it like almost how the NFL season has shaken out this year, where you're looking around and you're like, I don't know. I mean, obviously there's Colorado, but at least if you look at the Eastern Conference, especially if you look at the Metro Division, it's kind of like, I don't know, I'm not that scared of anyone. The Isles got to be thinking, shit, we can hang with pretty much any of these teams right now. They have all year long, so I don't hate that move for them. And I think Palat, I think that's a good addition to that team. I think he'll fit right in with their style.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think it's a great move. Question from the mailbox. Thank you for sending this in. Which of these moves do you like better and why?
I think I mean they're both playoff moves, like you said. Like that, like both of these guys, I think will shine for the Isles in the postseason. But I just see Palat scoring like a huge goal for them.
He is
in
kind
the
of that
playoffs.
guy,
Yeah.
and you and I know that from that
Yes.
that 2018 Eastern Conference Final for sure.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the Soucy move, and I think there's just a little bit more potential there. Like if they have a second round or third round run here, or maybe even more, who knows?
Yep.
You know, he's 31. I think it's very likely if all goes well here, he comes back for 2, 3, 4 more years. So
I could see that.
I think it has the potential to build a little bit more on the future than the Palat deal does.
Yep.
Let's go ahead over to what is probably the softest suspension or discipline in sports all year.
Yeah.
So not a suspension, but a fine for Willie Nylander for flipping the bird. You know, when he's up in the press box, and I guess one of the cameras went up there for I don't know what reason. But what did you think about this? I've definitely got some thoughts on this.
Who gives a fuck, dude? Leave him alone. Let him do what he wants. It's not a big deal.
So my thing is, and I was talking with Bowens about this a little bit. He made this point. He's like, isn't this like on a 5-second delay, like all live TV is? Isn't this
That's
on
a good point.
like the production truck?
Yeah, just
like,
fucking cut it. Like,
yeah.
Yeah,
it's not hard.
That's actually a great point. Yeah,
like obviously we're not TV people, so you know I'm sure someone could tell us how wrong we are. But also,
yeah, did they fine the guy in the control room $5,000?
Right.
I doubt it.
Or the guy running the camera at the college football national championship,
right,
because of reasons. But
yes.
This one to me, I'm just like, can we get over this? Like, yeah, is it inappropriate? Yeah, sure. Is it not the friendliest of gestures? Yeah, sure, whatever. But I guarantee you pull out a camera in front of anyone who's under the age of 60, and it's a 1 in 3 that they do exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
Like anytime someone pulls out a camera in front of me, I'm tempted to do that. No, exactly.
Yeah.
I just thought this was like marshmallow soft. The fact that it spun out of control, and then you have people on like talk shows and panel shows and TSN being
I can't believe we're even talking about it.
It's like a poor representation of a team that's not playing well, and then now we have to talk about what's wrong with the Leafs and like,
dude,
just never ends, man. It never ends with that franchise. So I think they actually should have paid him because it gave them yet another excuse to talk about the Toronto Maple Leafs, which probably kept jobs for all those people for another, 5 years?
Yeah, right.
Just kidding. We love TSN. Let's go to college. Big college week last week. So Michigan State swept Minnesota. That was huge. As I mentioned, upcoming, they have Penn State Friday and Saturday, Saturday being the outdoor game. Riker Lee has arrived. His sort of reverse spinorama goal on the power play in Minnesota was unbelievable, so that was great to see.
Yeah, that was sick.
They also might have just secured their goaltending future for the next couple years. They got Joshua Ravensbergen from the PG Cougars of the WHL.
Name.
It is. Taken 30th overall by the Sharks in the first round last year, 6'5", 183. He is committed for 26-27, and that's likely because Trey Augustine is going to go pro at the end of this year. So big things happening in college hockey right now. The state of Michigan, top 3 teams. U of M 1, Sparty number 2, and Western number 3. So
there you go.
Let's go ahead and run through the rest of the rankings. North Dakota 4, Penn State 5, Quinnipiac 6, Duluth 7th, Wisconsin 8th, Providence 9th, and Big Red Bear Cornell at 10th. So definitely starting to heat up as we move our way towards the tournament here.
Who's your like sleeper pick out of that top 10 of like don't count these guys out?
Part of me wants to say Cornell because they ruined Sparty's tournament last year, but you never sleep on a team like Western, given what we've seen from them in the last 2 or 3 years. And then, I know we didn't necessarily mention them there, but if Minnesota gets into that tournament at all, they're a well enough, coached and disciplined team that they can beat anyone. I think the one I'm keeping my eye on this year, though, is North Dakota. They're playing some really, really exciting hockey. So could be a big year in Grand Forks for sure.
All right. Noted.
Quick trivia for you, and then we'll get everyone out of here. Quick epi for you. So we all know the Olympics are coming up. I want to see, counting backwards, sort of year by year, can you name me gold medalist?
Oh, man.
So this is kind of going to be tricky because, we
Fuck.
haven't had NHL guys there for some of these, but
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how many of these you can get.
So tell me the year, because I fucked that up too. But
So we'll start with the most recent one, which is 2022 in Beijing.
okay. It was somebody kind of weird. I feel like it was not like Canada.
Correct.
Was it like Finland or something?
It was
that?
like Finland.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
Nice. Then 2018 is Pyeongchang.
And that one,
a really, really skilled player you and I love, and everyone from the early 2000s love, played on this team to win gold.
is he in the NHL right now?
He is not, and he was not when he won this gold medal.
Interesting. What the hell could that mean?
He returned home to play in his home league for a couple extra years.
Oh, okay. Russia?
Correct. Or
Yeah.
Olympic athletes from Russia.
Yes, that's right. Okay.
In 2018. 2014
I
in
like
Sochi.
totally blanked that out. I literally do not remember that team.
Oh,
winning,
it doesn't
winning
count.
gold. Yeah.
Yeah. 2014 in Sochi. This one did have NHL players.
Right. Shit. Was that Canada?
It was Canada.
Yeah.
So that's the TJ Oshie shootout year.
That's
but,
right. Yep.
This one I know 2010 Vancouver.
Yeah, that's Canada.
Yeah, that's the incident.
That's the one that really sticks.
2006 in Turin.
This is where you lose me a little bit because we're talking. I'm like 7.5. No, I'm like 8 years old.
Right.
Canada?
No, it is not Canada.
Did the boys in blue get that one?
They did not.
Okay, I don't know.
It's Sweden.
Sweden.
Yeah, Alfredsson, Forsberg, Lidstrom,
Yeah,
Lundqvist.
that's right. I think I did know that. I've probably seen that photo.
Sedin, Sundin.
How sweet it is.
Indeed. 2002 Salt Lake City.
Yeah, I don't know any of these.
Just
anymore.
go with your gut. You know.
Canada.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
cool.
And then 1998. This is the last one as far as we'll go back. It's in Nagano, and this one's definitely a little bit out of left field.
The year I was born. Don't tell me it's like fucking Czechia or something.
It
like
is
that.
Czechia.
Is it really?
Great
That's
call.
crazy. I didn't know that if they'd ever won gold in hockey.
Yeah. So that was a huge deal for them. So that was pretty good, dude. You kind of crushed those.
Little help here and there, but we'll take it.
Exactly. Anything else before we wrap up?
Where's Panarin going? He's scratched right
He is
now,
scratched
and
tonight.
word on the street is he's scratched through until the Olympic break. So
Yeah.
does he get moved before the break, and where does he go?
I hope he gets moved before the break because I would hate if this is one of those things where they just hold him out of the lineup for 4 or 5 more games.
Knowing us and knowing this program that you're all listening to right now,
Yep.
he's probably already been traded while you're listening to this, just so
Yes.
that we sound like total assholes. Like, we're probably going to hang up from this call, and he's going to get traded in about 5 minutes.
No, the second I go to upload this, it's going to
Yep.
be like, oh, okay, great, rip it up and start over.
Yeah. And it's going to, like, it'll be, like, to the Caps, and it'll just ruin our entire
No,
episode because we're calling this What's Wrong with the Capitals, and then the whole big news is that we got fucking Panarin, and we're sitting here talking about how much we suck. And yeah, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, that's how many times has that happened now? Like
Dude.
3 or 4?
Yeah. Yep.
Fun stuff. Trying to predict the future. Anyways, make sure you guys are subscribed on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, all that good stuff. We're going to have some fun content coming out for you soon. I'll try and get as much footage as I can in Pennsylvania this weekend. We'll catch you guys in the next episode.